Now imagine the Avengers in real life, but instead of fighting Thanos, they're fighting for dominance in the AI industry. And that's exactly what Mark Zuckerberg is currently doing at the moment. He's actually assembled world-class AI enthusiasts, engineers, and influencers to join his camp over at Meta. This is now a big and massive race to what I call the pinnacle and the golden throne of AI. You would not want to miss this video. Stick around where I walk you through who's been replaced and who is the new team, as well as looking into things as how much has he actually spent to actually get this team. And looking forward to what the future holds for Meta and its purpose within AI. We've spoken a lot about OpenAI. We've spoken a lot about Gemini. We've spoken a lot about Grok AI. Mark Zuckerberg just launched his first ever real clapback to every single person who's trying to dominate the AI space by not only building a superior team, but announcing Meta on the stage of, we are on course to become the world's go-to market for AI. This is going to be epic. Catch this one out. From around... Okay, so let's start from the beginning. 2023, September to be exact. This was when Mark Zuckerberg launched his first Meta AI. Now this was to compete with ChatGPT, which was again getting a lot of buzz. Again, we're talking about Google Gemini's early stages where it was getting a lot of buzz as well. And to not fall too far from the growth and elevation, Mark Zuckerberg had to act and react very fast. In doing so, he did launch Meta AI in 2023 of September, only to the US market. He then decided to launch it to other markets such as Brazil, Middle East, Africa, and the UK in October 2024. Now, he started to see fair few successes, but there were still some algorithm problems. There was more technology problems to his tool in comparison to ChatGPT, as well as Google's Gemini. So let's move over to 2025, where we saw it get rolled out to more EU countries, and it started to adopt really well. And now we're moving over to the latter stages of the year where this is going to be very epic and probably revolutionary in AI. Because what Mark Zuckerberg is building is not only a team that can build AI and become potentially number one in its field, but he's literally assembled the most creative minds in AI from other companies that were his competitors. Now this is a remarkable step and a bold move, but let's dig into see how did this all come about. So, without a shadow of doubt, we all know or heard about Meta's AI struggles. The algorithm wasn't as precise or clean. The return and responses wasn't as intuitive as OpenAI's ChatGPT. And it kind of lacked the kind of je ne sais quoi, I would like to say, in AI, where it wasn't able to give a full description or context if he was asking questions. So it did lag behind significantly. And in comparison to the whole hype around the metaverse, it was kind of a step backwards for Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. Well, should I say Meta? In this case, it was adamant to see Meta AI struggle. It had lost so many people, even one of its key leaders like Yan Li-jun being overshadowed, and you had others leaving to join startup companies. It's not really ideal, and Mark Zuckerberg had to really sit down and think, how can I get back, or how can I actually put my name on the race for AI sovereignty? And this is like a light bulb moment for him. Instead of trying to figure out the next thing in AI, why not look at what's happening in AI now? Who's the big movers? Who's shaking AI? And by doing so, he was able to assemble, reach out to, and find the most creative and intuitive minds to actually join him in his company to build an everlasting AI tool engagement where the world will now see that Meta has only just begun and it's here to stay. Now, I'm not going to go walk you through all the names of the people that's been replaced or departments that's been replaced, but I feel like the key thing here to understand is Mark Zuckerberg is literally putting his name back in the mouths of technologists, people that love AI, people that love machine learning, people that just love innovation. Mark Zuckerberg started off his career in innovating. Facebook was an innovation of previous social media tools. He's always constantly looking at the next big thing, and he always wants to be at the forefront of it. And there was no shadow of a doubt, Meta AI in the beginning phases was lackluster and it was not up to par with other AI tools. So he had to delve in, swallow a bit of pride, and say, I am going to assemble my own AI Avengers team. And the lineup that he has, monumental and crazy. This is not just leaderships in AI. These are the people that are changing AI every day from already existing big companies. To have them on board, and we could talk about the huge salaries, we could talk about the perks, everything they're gonna get, but it's a very bold move. And it's a move that strikes to me as, I want to be at the forefront of AI. And he's not going down without a fight. Let's check out some more. Let's talk about Zuckerberg's super Avengers of AI. In the last year, Meta has gone on what I could only describe as hiring spree, poaching some of the sharpest minds in artificial intelligence. We're talking ex-Google DeepMind researchers, engineers who used to work at OpenAI, and even specialists from smaller labs that were pushing the boundaries of generative AI. Now, these aren't just random hires. Each of them play a very specific role in Zuck's master plan. You've got one squad focusing on large language models, basically the brains behind Meta's LLaMA project. This is Meta's answer to ChatGPT, only with the twist of being open source, meaning developers everywhere can tinker with it, improve it, or depending on how you look at it, one squad focusing on large language models, basically the brains behind Meta's LLaMA project. This isn't Meta's answer to ChatGPT, only with the twist of being open source, meaning developers everywhere can tinker with it, improve it, or depending on how you look at it, weaponize it. Dangerous. Then you've got another set of researchers working on generative AI. Imagine creation, video generation, and tools that can be directly baked into Instagram, WhatsApp, or Horizon Worlds. Imagine scrolling through your feed and seeing AI-generated content that looks so real you can't tell if your friend actually went on the holiday or if it's just AI flexing. And of course, Zuckerberg isn't just thinking about speed, he's thinking about survival. That's where the AI safety and ethics comes into it. Their job. To make sure Meta doesn't accidentally unleash something that spreads misinformation, creates harmful deepfakes, or worse, destabilize the platforms that billions of people use every single day. Now let's talk money, because this Avengers level team doesn't come cheap. Reports suggest Meta has poured billions of dollars into this AI push, not just in salaries, but in hardware. We're talking NVIDIA GPUs, thousands of them, costing tens of thousands each. In fact, Meta In fact, Meta has been quietly building one of the largest AI supercomputers in the world, just to train these massive models. So yeah, when I say Zuck went all in, I mean all in. And honestly, the best analogy I can give you is this. Zuckerberg went full Nick Fury. And I mean taking things to his own hands. He didn't just look at the game as just, I want to be a bystander. He looked at the game as, I want to be at the forefront of it. I'm the pack and I'm the leader. And he's telling ChatGPT, step aside, because here I come. So now that we've assembled the Avengers, what's the actual mission? Well, we know the mission for Zuckerberg is to become the global leader in AI. But what does global leader in AI mean? And how is he going to effectively achieve this? It's a bold move, especially when you compare it to companies like OpenAI. OpenAI has gone very well, closed their models or locked down, heavily monetized and only accessible through the API or ChatGPT. Meanwhile, Zuck is playing the opposite game. He wants Meta to be the champion of open source, giving developers, startups, and researchers the keys to build whatever they want on top of Meta's models. At the heart of this strategy is LLaMA, Meta's family of large language models, and the big one on the horizon is LLaMA 3, which insiders say could rival ChatGPT 4 and 5. The difference, LLaMA is free for researchers and developers to use. That's Zuckerberg's Trojan horse. Instead of trying to control the AI world from a single app, he's seeding his technology into the entire ecosystem. But here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine LLaMA and Meta AI's assistant baked directly into the apps you already use every day. Think Facebook. You could have an AI assistant that summarizes posts, fact-check news, or even auto-generate community discussions. What about Instagram? Imagine AI helping you edit reels, generate captions, or even create whole visual concepts for your content. And now let's talk about WhatsApp. Think about having an AI that acts as your personal translator, business assistant, or even customer service bot for small businesses. Now, this could be seen as genius from Mark Zuckerberg, because you already have billions of people who leverage Instagram, WhatsApp. And if you're incorporating AI to their everyday usage, that makes it grow even substantially better. Not only to say that he's doing something that's probably unprecedented, but something that I believe can benefit, which is making it open source. It gives developers like myself, developers around the world, to go in and make adjustments, make changes, improve the model. And that only makes it better. That makes it more intuitive. That brings the whole world involved working with AI. I think he's on a gold mine here. And I think companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, Google's Gemini, they need to really take a look and think Mark Zuckerberg's not going down without a fight. And he's swinging real huge, not just from spending billions to assemble the team or spending billions or millions to, conduct the semiconductor from NVIDIA and having so much engineers, research analysts involved in his team. He's betting and banking on the next big thing that needs to happen in AI. And it's something that we've discussed in ethical nature, which is, can it be accessible to everyone to have an input? And he's answering those questions really well. Game changer. Let's keep going. Realize it for a sec. OpenAI might have the tech crown today, but Meta has the distribution. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. These are digital empires with billions of active users every day. If Zuck drops an AI assistant into that ecosystem, he doesn't need to win the race by being the best. He just wins by being everywhere. And I think that's the gold mine here. He's winning because he's already in the markets that ChatGPT would love to be in the eyes of billions, have the usage of billions. Now, ChatGPT has its enormous customer size, reaching millions of views every day. But what happens when those millions of customers who already leverage social media platforms owned by Mark Zuckerberg realize there's an AI tool that I could use in real time? I could use while going through Instagram, while I could use on my WhatsApp as a business assistant, I could use it, to help and me as a personal assistant, structure my messages to people more better. Instagram in terms of captions, printing out the best captions for myself, things like that goes a long way. And Mark Zuckerberg already has the eyes and the attention of billions of people. Sprinkle that with Meta AI, it's looking a bit tough for ChatGPT, if I'm honest. Fast forward and look at what the future of Meta AI actually means. And here's the things to get both excited and probably terrified at the same time. On the positive side, open source AI has some incredible benefits. It democratizes access. Instead of making a handful of companies hoarding the tech behind closed doors, researchers, startups, and even hobbyists can build on it. That means faster innovation, more transparency, and a wider range of applications that no single corporation could ever dream up on its own. In theory, this is the purest version of AI progress: accessible, open, and collaborative. But here's the flip side, and it's probably a big one. When you open the gates of AI development and technology to the wider world, there's so much misinformation that can be built in there. I said earlier, it's a great innovation, revolutionary in terms of AI and where we're going to in terms of making everybody like myself involved. However, if you allow everybody involved, how do you disintegrate the good cooks from the bad cooks, the good eggs from the bad eggs? And that could lead to more troubleshooting and more problems in building the AI, and people that come in and develop their own or improve it or innovate it can innovate it in a way that selfishly can benefit them. That's the challenge of open source. When it's open to the world and the wider public, not everybody has the best heart of interest. And that's something that is probably the most terrifying thing about it. It has its pros. From an ethical nature, everyone gets to be involved. There's no back doors, there's no locks on the door. On the other side, we have to then think about the negative side of things. Is everyone going to use it with the best interest of innovating in a good way rather than innovating in a bad way? Is it going to commit more crimes or encourage more crimes or decrease? That's the question that not even Mark can answer. We just have to trust in humanity to believe in itself to do good things. But I think there's been cases where we see humanity can do really bad things to each other. And I think that's going to be the most terrifying thing here, where misinformation can lead to a negative impact on the world. So open source, great, but also could be detrimental. There is risk. And Meta, of all companies, already has a track record of struggling with misinformation on its platforms. Add AI into the mix, you've got a very combustible combination. This is the ethical tightrope that Zuckerberg and his Avengers now have to walk. Are they building a brighter, fairer AI ecosystem? Or are they unleashing something so powerful it can't be contained? And it all comes down to this one question. When you unleash AI this powerful to billions of users, are you truly empowering society? Or are you putting a loaded weapon in the hands of anyone who wants it? And that's probably where I'm terrified. Are we making it a fairer ecosystem, making it everyone accessible, or are we just creating more bullets that we don't need in the world? Okay, so let's kind of zoom out a bit. Mark Zuckerberg did something probably unheard of. He went to his competitors from small, large, medium, and got them to join his team. Bold move, strategic move, quality move in my opinion. No matter the cost, the benefits could probably outweigh. If we look at it, he's had to replace his existing team prior to this team because he felt he was losing the race of being the leader in AI. And now he has his own set of Avengers that will basically could help propel him there, if not get him there a lot quicker and probably in a short amount of time than what ChatGPT currently owns, which is larger of the market share. But then if we take a look into the benefits and what he's trying to achieve, we can see that he has the tools in place. He already has the billions of users in his current platforms, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, that he can incorporate Meta AI into, which will make lives so much better. Like I said, think about WhatsApp. If you're a small business, you've got an AI assistant there. Instagram, if you're a content creator, you've got something to help you with your captions. And if you're even in Facebook, you got something there that will just give you insights on news and what's happening around the world in real time. There's no denying that this is definitely a good sign in what Mark Zuckerberg's trying to build. Do you think this could be dangerous for society, or do you think it's going to benefit society? Do you think opening the floodgates of Meta's AIs to so many developers is going to be beneficial or negative? Leave your comments down below, and thank you for tuning in with AI Fizzy. Peace.